Hello, dear humanity. Welcome to Season 3 of Human Thesaurus. Human Thesaurus is an engaging podcast where I invite a diverse range of friends and acquaintances to have a conversation with me, your host, Wishrokio Peacock. Each episode takes you on a wild ride through personal journeys, profound experiences, relatable rants, hilarious moments, and insightful opinions within different industries. With a focus on individuals who are defined by multiple words synonymous with who they are, my podcast explores various perspectives and personalities resembling words with several meanings. Through these conversations, you are invited to eavesdrop and enjoy a captivating exploration of the human experience. While you're at it, you can rate and subscribe, and you can check out my show notes at humanthesaurus.co. Coco is 34 and lives in Berlin, Germany. She spent the last decade of her life living in Australia and Europe while working in tech with some amazing people and playing dance music at parties and festivals. She loves spending time with nature, dancing, belly laughs, I know that for sure, food, traveling, and sleeping in, but also being active and trying new things. I met Coco through work 6 years ago in Sydney. She became very integral part of our team. She never ceased to amaze me because she's such a multi-talented person. And we had a lot of memorable, fun experiences together. The ups and downs of our jobs just makes us laugh a little bit harder. So I think that what made it more pleasant. But Coco is just really a sunshine. Like she's ethereal when she walks in the room. You just feel her because she's that kind of a positive influence around us pretty much. She's been through a lot too, and it's just wonderful to see her grow and blossoming. And that's always been something that I'm proud of with the people that I surround myself with. And Coco is one of those amazing people around me that I'm grateful to know. So my synonyms for Coco are summer as a noun, vibing as a verb, and spirited as an adjective. Within this conversation, you'll understand why I describe her as such. So here she is, Coco Poniversky. Your
Oh,
turn.
Wish. What an intro. Thank you so much. Wow, what an introduction. I don't know what to say. Well, actually, I do know what to say. Hey, my name is Coco. Same as the words forest as a noun, dancing as a verb, and cheeky as an adjective. I like the word fabulous, and I dislike the word normal.
There's nothing normal
That's
about you,
really
girl.
interesting. That's really like your side of the story is really interesting. You
Yeah.
had summer.
Yes, you are a summer to me, vibing as a verb and
I
spirited,
love vibing.
very spirited as an adjective.
Mm.
Yeah, I really take time to think about this before the conversation. I think words do affect all of us. So, what do you think about how I describe you? Can you relate
Absolutely.
to it?
Absolutely. And it's, well, makes me, I feel very humbled that you describe me in this way. I feel that the words are also really suitable to describe you, and I think that's maybe why we hit it off because we're quite similar in that way,
Yes.
just like, yeah, you also just bring the house down if, when you're on fire.
What type of fire?
Um,
I need to pull our
Depends.
uh-huh. I need to pull our
Depends on the
pictures.
situation.
I need to pull our pictures. It's just like
Yes.
those memories. What were the most, because it's been a few years now that we're not working together
Mm.
anymore, but What were the highlights that you remember when we were working together with the team?
When I think of us, I think of all of our banter in the Liquid
Yes.
Studio, just sitting at the desk and singing along to
Oh
songs
my
and
gosh.
just telling each other crazy stories. We did some really cool trips as well.
Yes.
Our Perth trip where we ended up in this rum bar, like
Yeah.
hidden in between these containers.
Yeah.
Remember? And we had to like knock and then like say a password and then got into the back of this amazing rum bar. And then we were just like drinking rum and smoking cigars.
Yeah, that was
What a work trip.
yeah, it's such an amazing work trip. And I remember we were doing some troubleshooting with syncing the videos, and then yeah, right. And then late at
Yes.
night, and then we went out to the rum bar after. Wait, before that, we went to this like basement portion where there are moonshine paired with beers, right?
Yes. Yes. We had a good meal there as
Yeah,
well.
yeah,
Oh, it was the best team.
right.
It didn't feel like work. We were on fire. That's what I meant with fire. We were on fire.
We were, yeah, yeah. That was really, really
Miss those
fun.
times.
So from then,
Yeah.
while catching up with you right now, because we haven't actually spoken in a while. So, how do you see yourself grow from that time, from the Accenture Liquid Studio periods of your life versus now? Like, what did you see evolve
Mm,
in you? What did you observe about yourself?
mm. Well, in a professional sense, definitely. I stepped more into senior management position and assumed more responsibility and growing teams and presence and products. I really enjoy what I
Mhm.
do. So it's still tech marketing, but where I ended up now is it's tech to battle climate change.
Yes.
In it's very particular niche as well. It's agriculture, and yeah, I love where I am now. I'm
Mm.
still working with a big portion of the Liquid Studio team, which you know,
Yes.
which you helped assemble. And it's so nice. It's just such an inspired group of
Yes.
people. But I think also there was just so much change that happened from a personal perspective.
Mhm.
I was 27, I think, when we worked
Yeah.
together. And then everything just changed at around 28, 29. Yeah, 28, my life really started
Yeah.
changing. And I was got out of one relationship with a partner, got into another,
Mm.
decided to quit my job
Mm.
at the Liquid Studio, moved to Berlin. I am from Germany originally, but I left Germany when I was 18
Yeah.
to move to London before I then came to Australia. So I kind of came back. I was craving to come back
Mm.
and set up my new life
Mhm.
here. But then when the pandemic
Yeah.
hit, that there was another romance waiting there for the same guy.
Yeah.
So I went back to Australia, you know. I just felt like back and forth, and there was so much yeah, turmoil kind of, but it was also good, you know.
Mm.
I was just letting my spirit kind of lead me,
Yes.
even maybe if I thought like, oh, maybe shouldn't have gone back to Australia. But then I mean, that relationship didn't work out. I'm married now, by the way.
Woohoo! Yeah.
Yes. So no more relationship dramas. Isn't it great?
It's fantastic. Yeah, but the second time you went to Australia, although we're very, very supportive of you, everybody fell off their chair. Like, what?
Remember, I was in quarantine
Yeah.
and we were talking with the team.
So yeah, everybody when I because we have a group chat without you there. So it's like, "Hey, have you heard Coco's back in Australia?" "What? Why?" The guy, "Why?"
Oh.
And I was like, "I think she's happy. We'll let her be. You just needed to support her."
You guys did. Everyone was very supportive, and they're just some things that you just need to find out for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm really glad that I did that. I'm really grateful for the learnings,
Yes.
so many
Yeah.
learnings. And yeah, and if I wouldn't have come back, then I wouldn't have met everyone again to
Mm.
work on the awesome climate project
Yes.
on that we're working on now. And but now I'm back in Berlin and super happy
Yeah.
and really settled, and spring is coming.
Oh.
Yeah,
But don't you
yeah, it's
think that
good.
also one of the, I think, I mean, as always, right? Things happen for a reason. So with your second coming in
For
Australia,
sure.
don't you think that that was because I saw that you became bigger as a DJ at that time? Don't you think that
Um,
that kind of became, kind of looking back, a good reason as well? Because I really felt that you were really, really like, you've got more parties, you've got more events, and you're really one of the big names now. And
Oh well, I grew in that role as well.
mm,
So we were doing, you know, Australia is great like that because it has so much of this kind of outdoor
yeah,
festival culture.
yeah,
And so getting involved, the outdoors are just incredible
mm,
in Australia, as you
yes,
know. Spending time in
mm,
nature and doing these events and getting people there. So yeah, that was definitely that all happened in Australia. And so when I was already involved in the festival scene for like 5 years in Australia,
yes,
but then when I got to Berlin, I realized that yeah, I got booked in some of my favorite clubs here because I think I just developed a different sound as well to what
mm,
people are playing here. You
I
know, it's very
see,
different. Yeah, it's just a totally different vibe. This whole this bush festival vibe
yeah,
is just, you know, way more just the grooves, the sounds, it's just very different to what people listen to here
mm,
in Berlin. So yeah, but then spending 2 years here and then coming back for round two in Australia,
yeah,
I brought more of the Berlin sound back, and that then
right,
seemed to resonate with people. So yeah, I think it was good. I don't know if I'm a big name. I enjoy what I do.
mm-hmm.
I'm starting to play more here again. I got a gig this weekend. And then the 2 weekends after that, I'm playing in Mallorca
Oh my
the weekend.
gosh,
Yeah, the weekend following this one. So I'm looking forward to that. It's like a music
oh,
convention thing.
that's so
So
cool.
that's the fun thing, you know, that you just like you get to combine music with travel. But
Yes.
I wouldn't say that I'm like a big name. I mean, there's some really big names out there.
Yeah, but those are
But for what I
commercial.
do, I love it, you know.
Yeah, yeah. Tell me first, how did you,
Yeah.
because yeah, I mean, getting to know you when I met you, it's like, oh, she's this, she's this. Oh, yeah, wait, she's also a DJ, you know? Like how did you come about f- finding vinyls and loving it this way and becoming a DJ in the end? How did you
Mm,
start?
I started, well, growing up in Germany, dance music was everywhere. And it was the just the coolest thing to do. And so I have an older brother. He's 2 years older than me.
Mhm.
So I think we got our turntables when he was 14 and I was 12.
Mm.
And he just bought a pair of turntables. And then we were really close friends. So after school, when I was like 13, 14, we went digging. There
Mhm.
were like two really good record shops on our way home.
Mhm.
And it was just, I just fell in love with the culture. It was just, I just felt so cool going there with my older brother and then
Oh,
sitting there and
yeah.
going flicking through vinyl and then like, you know, picking it out and listening to it. There was something so special about it.
Yes.
And then, you know, and then when you really love a track or you really love an album, then you just to buy it,
Mm.
to have something of substance and buy it and add it to your collection. Yeah, and then my brother just taught me how to beat match, but I was
Wow.
mostly dancing.
Mm.
Like I really got into dance music.
Mhm.
There was a lot of like electro and house
Yeah.
back then that I was really listening to. But it wasn't until I came to Australia that I
Oh.
started to play also. That was like 2012
Yeah.
that I started to just play.
Oh.
Yeah, I was pushed by a friend like, hey, you should play at a party. And I was like, okay, cool. And then, yeah, I learned how to mix on like the CDJs.
Yeah.
And that's kind of, so it all started in Australia
Oh,
actually. But
wow.
my love for music and vinyl, that started, yeah, much earlier in Germany.
Oh, that is so cool. Because you
Mm.
also you sing, you play the piano, right? What else
Yeah,
can I
well,
remember?
we play the piano. I sometimes grab the guitar or the
Yes.
ukulele, but that's just so basic, you know. But that's more like party jamming.
Yeah, it is.
Oh,
Okay, we have to track it back that you're now married. Can you please tell me again your story? Like how did it happen in Kyoto and
The-
stuff?
yes. Okay. So yes. So well, we eloped. That's the
Oh
word. We
yes, they're
eloped
eloped.
in Kyoto.
Yes.
So yeah, we had a little secret Shinto wedding. We got engaged in San Sebastian
Oh, oh my
over New
gosh, that's
Year's,
so
and
perfect.
it was so beautiful, so super in love. And then Chris proposed, made me this beautiful, beautiful ring that he proposed with.
Oh.
It was just so perfect. And then the thing with, well, in our case, it was like that. The thing with like weddings and engagements, everyone was like, when's the wedding? When's the wedding? And our moms got involved. Okay, so it's all happening.
Yeah.
And pretty quickly we were like, oh shit. This is like turning in, this is really taking up momentum and spiraling fast. And we kind of felt, and I'm like, yeah, cool. Oh, well, okay, well, let's do it in summer then. And of course, also like everyone has an opinion
Yes.
when you get engaged.
Yes.
And so yeah, and then we just sat down one day and we're like, okay, how are you feeling about this? We just felt like, because it's a big thing to get married and to agree with your partner, that you really want to have a really good shot at spending your life together.
Absolutely.
And so we kind of felt like that moment when you make the promise to each other and when you really, manifest that joint future together, we felt like with all these eyes on us and everyone involved, that kind of the magic would be taken away from it a little
Yeah,
bit.
I get it. Yeah.
And it's more of a show than this deep. I would say that we're both quite spiritual people. And so, well, we just wanted something more intimate, just the two of us. And it was Chris that actually, because we were planning this trip to Japan, and he came up with it. He's like, you know what? How about we get married in Japan, just the two of us?
Oh.
Yeah, we did that then. And we got in touch with a wedding organizer in Kyoto. They were super sweet. They found this gorgeous small Shinto shrine for us in Kyoto that was like all tucked away, close to a forest. That wasn't, these shrines get so packed.
Yeah, some
like
of
in
them
Japan,
really.
It's just like mass tourism, so many people.
Yeah.
So we were first thinking of doing it in Tokyo, but then it's just so many people.
Yeah.
So you don't have the magic that, that it kind of gets
You want
taken
it
away from
very
you a little
intimate
bit.
and private in a way, right? Yeah.
And it was perfect. It was perfect. It was peak cherry blossom. So we had
Oh
this
my gosh.
Shinto priest, and he
Yes.
really took his time. It was all in Japanese, but we had like an interpreter
Cute.
there, and she was like trying to explain. Yes. It was an intense, like the ceremony in itself is really interesting because it's a sake ceremony. So you have 3 different sake cups that you drink out of, and you share the cup. And then you do an offering as well to the shrine. Yeah, there are different stages that you go through. Yeah, it was really beautiful. At the end, when we kind of turned around to walk away from the shrine, we discovered like 3 elderly Japanese people just sitting on the side that were our only wedding guests. They witnessed the whole thing. and we're clapping.
Oh, this is so cute.
It was so
Oh
cute.
my gosh. But this
Yeah.
is so you. This is so you to do. And I'm glad that you found Chris who could equal the vibe with you.
Mm,
Yeah.
yeah,
Wow.
me too. We both, yeah, we're so aligned.
Mm. How do you think?
Yeah, I'm happy.
Oh, that's good. That's the very important thing. So, how do you think that now eloping, being married, changes you so far?
Well, it just happened. I just feel really, I don't know, I feel like since we married, you actually said something similar to me, that you feel like you and Luke are better at being married than being in a relationship,
Yeah.
like being a
Yeah.
couple, you know?
Yes.
And I feel it's so chill. We're so in we love calling each other like husband and wife.
Yes.
And it's so much fun. We're just really excited about the future
Mm.
and having a family.
Yes.
Yeah, it's so it's comfort. It's in a way, it's also, I guess, comforting,
Mm. Mm.
that you're kind of, yeah, you're building a future together.
Yes.
Yeah, I guess, and I think that's different from, from person to person.
Yeah.
Like in Berlin, it's not that common to marry anymore, actually, like
Really?
amongst our friends. Yeah, yeah,
Oh.
it's I mean, it is quite traditional what we're doing, but
Mm.
counterculture is big in Berlin. Yeah, there's just so many couples that are not married. And I guess there's the thing is, in Germany, you actually get tax discounts when you're married. So one of our
Ah.
yeah. So one of our jokes is, like, not do you want to marry me, but do you want to save taxes with me?
Yeah, because I was about to ask, it's like, are there any advantage of being married there?
Mm. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But I mean, I had the privilege of growing up with a intact family.
Yes.
My parents have been married for 45
Yes.
years, and I just see them. I think they're still very much in
Yeah.
love, and seeing,
Oh.
of course, like, it comes and goes, but they're in such a good that's in such a good place again.
Oh. Yeah.
And we've also, like, had some, as I'm sure pretty much all families had, some really dark times as
Yeah.
well.
Mm.
And to just, like, to make it through together and not give up,
Mm.
and just always be there for each other, and work things out.
Mm.
I really i really admire that. Marriage isn't for everyone, and
Yes.
it really depends on also where you've come, like, your journey.
Yes.
And I've come from a family where I've witnessed a marriage,
Yeah.
a really intense marriage, and a long marriage that's still going on and still developing.
Mm.
And it just really, yeah, I just want that for myself. And it's, I always wanted to, growing up in that, I always wanted to get married.
Mm. Yes, I agree with what you were saying that marriage is not for everyone. It actually reflects on what you also observed. We only start I never wanted to get married at all. I think you've heard this before I even got
Yeah.
engaged because I never really had the expectation at all. But at the beginning of a relationship, Luke and I kind of agreed when we first week that we were dating that if it lasts and we're okay not being married, but we're only gonna get married if we plan to have children. Because I mean, we're very liberal people, but when it comes to this, we're a little bit conservative because of also what we've both witnessed with our parents. Like he's got a intact
Mm,
family. I've got an intact family. I've seen my parents through ups and downs, and my in-laws are friggin'
mm,
solid. Like I admire them so much, how much respect and love is there in that family. So
amazing.
at some point, sometimes we think that our mind is set to something. Like for me, not having children, I don't want kids. I mean, I love kids, but not on my own. Like I don't want kids. I don't need necessarily to be married. And then at some point, something just evolved in my life. And not there's not even one event, right? Like near death experience. It's not. It just evolved into
Mm.
one day. It bothered me. And I went to Luke and I said, I want to try with you. I want to have kids. And then he was shocked because he kind of said that he's kind of ready as well. And then I said, I don't want, I don't want. I can't see myself pregnant. And then, yeah, and then he
Mm.
was surprised. And then we started talking about marriage. So he goes, we should get married then because we had an agreement, right? Because that's out of love and respect for both our parents, that it's a tribute. So we wanted our kids to be inside a marriage.
Mm.
Again,
Totally.
it's different strokes, different folks. So after 10 and a half years, we got married, but we didn't even realize that we're going to end here. But that's what's beautiful about our lives, right? Like, have you ever expected that you will get married at this point in your life?
Not in a million years. Isn't it crazy
It
how
is.
the tables just everything just changes so
Yes.
quickly? And it's beautiful to also to allow yourself to change your mind
Mm,
and change your reality
yes.
and just yeah. I remember you saying you don't want kids
Yeah. I
and
was,
us having conversations about that. You were set.
yeah.
You were set on that.
I was so freaking set on that. Yes, that's right. But yeah, it's shocking to me even, like it's shocking in a good way because it's a wonderful thing to realize that you can also amaze yourself. We keep on telling other people, you're amazing, you're a cheerleader to other people. You're amazing, you're wonderful, I'm so proud of you. You can also tell that to yourself. And I'm at that point now. I mean, I always have self love, but I think it got a little bit stronger and stronger by the minute as I get older. So I was just like, I respect myself for, yeah, being able to change my mind and not having an ego about it. Like, hey, oh, this is what life is
Mm.
supposed to be. We have plans, we have goals. That's a motivation, but not necessarily like a straight line, right? I mean, you and I, there's never a straight line.
I was just brainstorming like what is the one straight line in my life? It would have to be changed.
Right? Oh, yes. Actually, that's a good
Mm.
quote. That is fantastic.
Totally.
Yeah.
And what you said about ego, I think so too. That your ego can really prevent change from happening,
Mm,
or really sticking to what you believed in the past and what you said in the past. Like, no, I'm putting my foot down. This is the decision has been made.
mm,
Allowing yourself to undo decisions, allowing yourself to go back and say, okay, I was a different person back then.
mm.
And actually now seeing things from a different perspective, I think otherwise, I think it's so beautiful. It's one of these beautiful human things,
Yeah.
to just allow change to happen and say, you know what, actually, yeah,
Yeah.
now, yes.
Yeah. It does the
Mm.
humility in that, the humility and grace.
Mm.
I always have this subject recently, especially with my brother. It's always that humility and grace that, a lot of people kind of were disappointing because you're like, what's wrong with them? What's wrong with them? And then you're like, there's no humility and grace that you see around you. And then you're like, no, I'm not going to be around that because, yeah, I mean, that's what we're
Mm.
earning coming out of the non-linear lives that we have, that it's either you're gonna become very cynical, or you're gonna have that humility and grace that you can also imbibe for yourself and to other people, especially to your husband, to your partner. It's beautiful.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's such a good observation. Yeah, it can with the vibrant lives that I want to say we've led because I feel like we're both really really settled right now. Chilling in our respective lounges and
Yeah.
just chatting. I feel like, the vibrant lives we've had. I know, we're just
We're
pausing.
still
I think there's a lot
alcoholics,
of
I think.
vibrant chaos, that for sure. And I think there's still a lot of vibrant chaos ahead of us for
Yes,
sure.
yes.
But looking back, like I think so too. Just all that just throwing yourself into the unknown and just going with it and
Mm,
trying things and failing, all that, and yeah, and growing also so quickly. If you integrate it properly, then it can really give you this humility and this perspective where you're also like take a step back
mm.
in the things you say, and you're more conscious about how you interact with people
Yeah.
because you just know that there's so much you don't know,
Yeah.
and that there's a million ways to interpret a situation. And I know for myself, I've fallen on my mouth so many times in my life, saying things like, "Oh my God, I can't believe I said that." That now I'm just way more reserved. Also with like jumping to conclusions,
Ah, yes.
two things like it's definitely like that then.
That's right. Jumping to
Oh,
conclusions. That's true. Oh my God, pointing that
like a
out. I
pro.
think I haven't.
I turned that into an
Yeah.
Olympic sport.
I think I haven't heard my husband. I think once you just mentioned that, I was like, oh my gosh, Luke hasn't really commented anything to me about that anymore these past few years. Because before he's like, don't jump into conclusions. It's like, why are you so ahead of everything? Relax. Like now he says that to me not as often anymore. It's just I just roll my eyes. It's
Nice.
like, okay, whatever. Like, okay, not my problem. Yeah.
Or at least to not verbalize it.
Mm.
There's still a lot going on in my head. A friend of mine, he's from Iran. We were living together in Melbourne in my last couple of months in Australia.
Hmm.
And he shared the statistic with me that something like, of all the things you worry about, only like 2 or 3%, I have to dig it out, like a minuscule percent are actually like reality or would ever become true,
Yeah.
that there's a chance that yes, this will actually happen. So it's pretty much all in your head,
Yeah.
and the majority of all of your worries it will just never come true.
Yes.
But still you spend most of your time, or I had periods, and I still have
I
periods where I
used
just
to,
spent
yeah.
majority of my time like worrying, like, oh my God, I've spent
Mm.
like 5 hours worrying about things that will never happen.
Yes. Yes.
It's
It's
crazy.
overthinking. I think that's one of the things that for me, being semi retired, helped me to step back and really not overthink anymore. And then I worry less. I worry less. But I know that a part of me that worries, it's really more of just being relentless. Like I needed to do something. I needed to do this. I wanted to do that. I've got an idea here. I needed to explore this. Like I don't want to stop because if I wanted to really die really super duper old, I needed the brain to function so it wouldn't stop. So that's why. But yeah, I worry less
Hmm.
really, and it's good for your skin.
uh,
Yeah.
how did you manage to worry less? I worry like it's not at its peak right now, and I try to
Mhm.
meditate. So I had a pretty good meditation practice happening
Oh,
like
good.
over a year ago now,
Oh,
but then it
really?
just kind of fizzled out.
Mm.
And I'm trying to get back into it,
Yeah.
and that helped me still my mind.
Yeah.
Do you have a hot tip for me?
Hot. I think because we evolve, right, as people, our perspectives, etc., our attitude as well would keep on evolving. So I think at some point I just accepted that my mind can't be quiet because I can't meditate as in the literal sense of meditation. So it's really more of, okay, this is how I am. I'm going to accept it. How am I going to make peace with my very noisy mind? And then you have to just separate, right? What are you worrying about? Okay. Now that you have a partner, you can voice it out and then see where you land, what's logical. And then I just have to have an outlet. So as soon as I stopped working in the corporate world or startups, I needed an outlet. So I went back to my creative portion of my life. So I published a book, I'm doing this podcast, I
Yes.
keep on writing, I read books, I have a big imagination, so I keep on like writing them down, whatever sticks as a business, whatever. So it's you have to find an outlet, number one, to accept things, number two is to dump things that are not really necessary in your life. So all of that just boils down to self-awareness. What works for you? Like in
Mm,
everything,
yeah.
in meditation, if it doesn't work for you, it's fine. Like what's happening right now is that because we've got a lot of information overload as well on the internet, on social media. Do this. This is the right diet for you. This is your astrology. Oh, the stars are not aligning for you, therefore this is your diet, this is what you need to do. There's a lot of noise
Totally.
around us, and we tend to get absorbed by all of these things, and then we forget that yeah, it works for them, probably it won't work for me, or I'll try, it's worth trying because I'm still looking. So and then at some point you will just find that ground. So that's just my hot
Yeah,
tip. It's
yeah.
just like keep on learning about yourself and then take it from there.
What you said, the just the knowledge and the awareness that you are not your mind. There's this awesome book, The Untethered Soul.
Oh,
I don't know if you've heard about
can you
it,
please take a photo
by
later
Michael.
and send it to me? Okay.
Mhm, for sure, Michael A. Singer,
Mhm.
and a friend of mine. Yeah, I think I realized that I managed to separate myself from my thoughts,
Mm.
or started doing that maybe like 5 years ago or something.
Mhm.
But it really hit home like only a couple of years after, and a friend of mine in Australia recommended me this book, The Untethered Soul, which just really talks about that you are not your mind, and your mind is a product of your conditioning and how you're
Mm.
brought up,
Mm.
and and it's its own thing, and it will probably keep on doing its own thing forever
Yeah.
until you pass.
Yeah.
When you're, when your mind, like someone's even replies to a person, or
Yeah.
it assumes different personalities, or it's sometimes really naggy, or it's like, oh my god, I can't believe I'm thinking
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
It's just my mind. So my mind can be such an asshole
Oh,
sometimes, and it's like,
yes.
whoa, wow. And one of the exercises in this book is also like, just imagine your mind, and like it's your naggy asshole
Yeah.
housemate, just like sitting on the couch and just nagging and super opinionated about
Yeah.
anything that's happening in your
Very
life,
judgy.
and how it can, and how it's so judgy. And how it can like totally manipulate your happiness,
Yeah.
if you take it seriously.
Yeah.
And that it's a choice as well to say, okay, you're crazy. And that's beautiful. Like as soon as you can like isolate it, then you're like, okay, that's definitely not me, then it's my mind.
Mm.
But I know that what my mind is doing, is its own thing. But it doesn't mean that I need to take that advice. It's not me.
Yeah.
I'm not crazy. My mind is
Yes,
crazy.
it's a thought, it's a thought. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, yeah.
That's right. It's just really
Mm,
that, like trying to find your
it's
peace, and you can't really get them externally most of the time. It's really more of, okay, so like for me, I think since the pandemic, I started kind of calling a lot of people around me. I
mm.
started just
Like
focusing.
literally.
No, I'm not a serial killer. Serial killer in my mind. Yeah, it's really like, okay, I wanted to provide the energy that I have to the people that I care about. The
Yeah,
people who could
yeah,
match
totally.
my passion, my love, my genuine self. And then if something is below that, and I've tried for years and years, right? It's not like you have a closed mind. It's like, oh, I don't like this person on the first minute, which normally happens, but it's really more of, these people for a long time. you don't vibe with them anymore, or you don't want to fake it anymore. It's just not the right people around you. They don't make you feel happy. So you Marie Kondo your relationships. So yeah, and then yeah, I'm just really focusing my energy on the people that I really care about. So I have quality time. I provide my time for them, and it's the right thing, and then it feeds your soul back because you're doing the right thing to the
Mm,
people you care about. And then you don't go home and then just chat to your best friend or to your partner. It's like, oh my God, that's full of drama. Why did I go out with them? And it's so negative. It's like, I don't need that anymore.
totally. Yeah, totally. That's so good that you did that. I'm in the process of
Mm,
doing something like that as well, and just kind of letting those relationships that were kind of just upheld for no real reason,
yeah.
no real deep love or
Yeah.
connection, I'm just letting them fizzle
Yeah.
out, and it's so
It
freeing
is.
to not have to put energy into that anymore.
Yeah. So
Mm.
having all of these realization for you, right? How do you see yourself as Coco in Berlin versus Coco in Australia?
Ooh, good question. Well, I think firstly, when I came back to Australia again, it was like COVID. I came back for a relationship.
Mm,
So I actually wanted to, I didn't want to leave Berlin, but I wanted to make that relationship
yeah.
work, right? So it was already like, I wasn't fully happy with where I was location wise.
Mm,
Berlin just has way more ways that I can integrate with the society here. It's so loud, it's
mm.
so opinionated. Berlin is really, when we talk about Berlin and like my circle of friends here, we're wondering whether might it be like one of the last really like free cities,
Right. Yeah, yeah.
on the planet, because it's really like, yeah, there's a lot of freedom here.
Mm,
It's like anti-establishment,
mm.
anti-capitalistic. Like Google tried to establish itself just around the corner here from where I live. I live in East Berlin,
Yeah.
and there were like millions of people on the street protesting to push Google out, because it's
Really?
like like a Görlitzer Park. It's like a quite a like a punky, like a little bit grungy, but so
Nice.
cool. I love this
Wow.
area. Lots of like community, there's still people squatting there,
Mm,
that have like this, like they've been squatting there for like
yeah.
decades. It's like it's just the way it is,
Yes.
and I thought that was just so powerful, when
Yeah.
like a force like Google, people really have they get together,
Yeah.
and it's people power.
Mm,
It reminds you of the influence you can have on your reality,
yeah.
if you really like speak your voice and speak your mind and get together. So to circle back to your question, Coco now is just, I just feel I'm in my juice here.
Yeah.
Working in the startup world and in climate.
Yes.
It's like, yeah, I feel really really energized here, really inspired,
Mm,
that also that anything is
yes.
possible. Berlin has, there's like an outlet for anyone, for any
Mm,
sort of person. If you have a certain like political direction, or if you have, just any sort of thing that you want to express, or if you're punk, or if you're goth, or if you're whatever you
yeah.
are, there will be some sort of community
Love.
that like, with thousands of people that like hang out and get together, and do things, or like have parties, or go on strike together, or have like readings. It's just so cute.
Yeah.
And the German government is really good like that,
Wow.
like they're really good with creating supports, like with supporting like sexual
Mm,
orientations, and or like domestic violence, sexual
yeah.
orientations. So many youth communities where it's
Wow.
like to help people on their journey.
Yeah.
Just there is support here, where I felt like in
Wow.
Australia, I mean, it's also, Australia is such a young, white Australia is such a young,
Mm, mm, mm,
place,
mm, mm.
that these things didn't have time to develop yet.
Yes.
And that's what I really value Europe for, is like when it comes to like human rights,
Right. Yes.
it's really up
Mm,
there. And I really appreciate it for that.
yeah.
Happy Coco in
Oh,
Berlin.
happy Coco in Berlin. That's what I love to hear.
You have to come and
Oh,
visit me.
absolutely.
You'll be my guest of honor.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. You have to take me silent disco because I could dance for hours with you in silent discos. I freaking love silent discos or drum and bass.
I'm sure that's fun. No,
Like
they'll
old
they'll be
school
both of
drum
that.
and bass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's all sorts of musical experiences here.
Yeah, love it. So, yeah, Coco, in closing, what's the word that you can impart to our listeners about you and why?
Oh,
Mm.
transformation.
Oh.
Transformation. There was lots of transformation in my life in the past year.
Hmm.
Um, welcoming transformation. And it's like I feel transformation is even a bit stronger than change, but
Yeah.
that's just in my mind.
Yes.
Welcoming it, embracing it, going, not resisting it, but just going with it.
Hmm.
It just always amazes me where it takes me in life.
Yeah.
Transformation and I are good friends now.
Oh, that's good to
We're pals.
hear. I'm so proud of you. Really. You're so glowing right now. Yes.
Oh, thank you so much. I'm sure I'm like chaos is never far away,
Yeah.
and change is constant. So
Hmm.
yeah, but I feel like at least in moments of peace, that there's just at least time to like recharge your
Hmm.
batteries and kind of just like stabilize yourself a little bit to then jump into the next crazy cycle
Yes.
and be a bit more prepared for it.
Exactly. And just also remember that you already have a partner in life. And that's also going to help you. Life is never perfect. There will be ups and downs, especially we've got hormones to battle with to begin with. We
Oh
have
yes.
hormones too. As we get older, it gets crazier, trust me. I'm older than
Oh my
you.
god.
But you have a partner in life and you're going towards the right direction in loving yourself more, having more peace. And you're going to bring that to any chaos and you're going to come out of it stronger and stronger. Really, no matter what. So that's what you can take from there.
That's beautiful. Oh, thank you.
So
I hope
yeah.
so.
So thank you so much for hanging out with me. It's nice catching up with you
Thank you
again.
so much.
From this episode, one of the most important words about life is growth. It is the act or process or a manner of growing, development, or gradual increase. It's similar to words advance, headway, flourishing, sprouting, magnification, success, upswing, escalation, broadening. Felicia Rashad, an American actress and the Dean of the College of Fine Arts at Howard University in the US, quoted, "What's in front of you is a whole world of experiences beyond your imagination. Put yourself and your growth and development first." End quote. The beauty of you is your scars, your journey, your victories, your sorrows, your tears, and happiness. There are so many layers to our lives that growth is something that we cannot ever deny ourselves to go through. It's something that makes us progress as humans together, as individuals, and as a community. It is something that we have to award ourselves, granting ourselves that capacity to move on and evolve as a person with substance and context that makes sense for us to live our lives for the better. Thank you for listening to Human Thesaurus. Please help me rate and subscribe because your support means a great deal. Join me again next week for another episode. And while waiting, why not listen to my past few episodes? You may find one of them action-packed. I'm your host, Wish Ronquillo Peacock. Have a fantastic day and thanks for listening.